joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy.
All right, folks. Apologies for that bit of a delay getting started here with this next match. I don't actually know what the cause was. I think Steam may have gone down or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But we are live now, so it's time to jump into it. This is the third and final map between these two teams. Denial taking on the Renegades. Currently 1-1 after Denial took control of our first map over past 16-14. And our second map went, well, quite quickly into the control of the Renegades. I don't even think Denial got past 10 rounds in that second map. They did pretty poorly, unfortunately. So now we have to hope they can bring a better performance to Nuke, as this is the third and final map, just like our last match, actually. This is the second time today that the third map has ended on Nuke, so it should be interesting to see how both these teams fare, especially Denial, as I don't think I've been able to see this team play on Nuke just yet. Generally speaking, though, I would probably give pretty big advantage to Renegades in this map, as this is a map you need a lot of experience on to play well. And it can be brutal, especially on T sides if you're not a very well coordinated team, or if you don't have like experience to play off of there. So I feel like Renegades is gonna probably have the edge here, but who knows? I could be surprised again. As Mousespaz was also able to take this map against the Flamingos in our round of 16 game earlier. But jumping into it now, the Renegades, well, on their pistol, are gonna waste no time trying to go for a vent. They actually I think they missed the initial shot on the vent, so they lost Nifty there where they didn't really need to. That's a big mistake. And now Flowsick's also gonna find Azur. Thankfully, they're trading these kills back, but still, Nexa now back into the fray, finds himself his first pickup here, and a follow-up one on Dapper, taking him out. Just left XP3 alive here now, and then a 1v3. Okay, just walks into a free kill, but oh, didn't fail, or didn't hear, I should say. Ustillo dropping down from the ladder, just up on top of him there. So the Renegades do claim control of this map's pistol round, and it's on their T side. So assuming they don't get ecoed in this second round, they're in a really great shape to start off this map. Second round does indeed see a force buy coming out from the Denial side of things, and Toy has a great lineup for an initial kill, and he hits that mark. Takes him a second shot to do it, but he does indeed take down Ustillo, giving Denial an early 5v4 lead. Toy, along with his teammate outside here, I believe it's XP3 outside currently, both actually fall back after getting that kill, though they do not want to risk getting refragged, so they do kind of back out of there for the time being, trying to bait their opponents into going for a setup that would work better into the CT's favor. There's not many of them, especially with them just working on Deagles here. Speaking of which, one Deagle does just get deleted there by Nexa. Great spot from him. You only just barely saw Toy peeking out from the top right side there, but it was enough for Nexa to lock on and take down Toy, trading back that earlier frag. Okay, so they've got control outside. Now they need to transition this into a site. They know they still have XP3 somewhere behind these boxes as well, so they might be kind of waiting around, hoping he re-peeks it and they can punish that. In the meanwhile, though, Rico and Flowsick both fully rotated downstairs. The T's haven't even gone into secret yet, so this is a bit of an over-rotate currently. I'm not sure if it's nervousness or they got bad intel or something like that, but Dapper, thankfully, is wasting a little bit more time here. And more players are also starting to wrap their way back up. This is now down to a 3v2 here. The Renegades just taking it super slow. As we've kind of gotten used to, though, over the course of these past two maps, they're not really a team that necessarily forces their way into situations when they don't have to, and especially when there is an inkling of a doubt that they could kind of lose control over that situation. Eventually, though, the Renegades do take control here, but they lose 3 of their players, which is probably not what they wanted to have happen here. However, with Denial forcing into it, they were probably expecting to lose at least a couple. So now they just have to make up for it with a nice clean performance in this third round here, since Denial is going to be full saving. And right now, the Renegades are once again trying to go for that fast outside control here. And, oh, the trap has been sprung. Nicely deployed as well. A 3-man stack, one having PT-50s. It's enough to get a kill, and now a second one, too. Multiple members here of Denial, or at least getting close to that second one. I thought they did get the kill, but apparently not. Toy, striking back. Oh, yeah, they did get it. And then now they've got This third one they're trying to look for as well, but not going to find that one just yet. So far, only 2 players have been smited. And JKS is doing a good job of holding the line and making sure that no more escape their grasp. But hold on now. Toy getting at least one more pickup. It actually did come down to 1 player at the end of the day, and that being JKS. Thankfully, he's been on point so far, leading at 7-1 as his score line. So he was able to close out there. But definitely not the clean, follow-up 2 rounds after a pistol win that you often want to see, whether you're on T or CT side. I think you give him a little bit of credit because this is Nuke, and things still tend to favor towards the CT side a tad bit. However, with that said, I think they lost 7 players? 7 players in the last 2 rounds is definitely not optimal, and has definitely hurt their economy in the long run here as they get into the first gun round. They just have to make sure that they can actually keep the wins consistent. It's going to be the big problem, is if they lose here, they're definitely not going for an immediate rebuy. The only person that can do that is JKS. Everybody else has their money kind of in the dumps right now. In fact, Ustillo got donated or I think that, right? Because it's... No, apparently that is his AK. I never understand that faded out rule. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Apparently it's a bug. Anyway, 2 quick kills for the Renegades to start things off. Ustillo's almost by chance there and peeking out and finding XP3. The op shot, I think, forced him into the open, where he did fall victim to just a quick AK shot from Ustillo. Dapper only able to trade back 1 frag, and now it's complete upper control. Flowsick just swinging up the steps, swinging up the ladder, excuse me. Hoping he can find some... Speaking of swinging, Ustillo with a swing and a hit there on that flick. I think that was just 1 or 2 shots. Takes down the last man standing from Denial. And there you go, 4-0 start for the Renegades. That last kill, though. So that's going to put Denial onto a full eco here. With just P250s and 5.7s for the most part. No additional investment besides that. The Renegades just stacking a lobby. They know that the Denial players are going to go aggressively here. They always have been. And it's almost never worked out for them. So the Renegades will, as a follow-up to that, clean up pretty quickly here. 5 kills straight. No trades against them at all. And I think the most damage that someone took in that round was Azure being brought down to like 40 HP. Everybody else was pretty close to full, if not full itself. So 5-0. Second gun round here. First real full investment from Denial, though, since they've been, with the exception of rounds 2 and 3, they haven't been able to get a whole lot of kills going here, so they haven't been building up a lot of bonus cash to make up for it. Now they're on full losing bonus, and they have the kills working in their favor. So they finally get like the op and everything like that going along with full utilities. We would hope that this would be a round where they put up a better fight. As the last couple rounds, it's been straight shots from the Renegades, and they've barely been struggling at all. Denial this time is going to play it nice and patiently, though. Same as before. XP3 is going to be waiting back behind AC over here. And even on the inside, Dapper just trying to watch for mini pressure. Toy already downstairs, interestingly enough. Due to the fact that I think XP3 is so far back, he can't actually actively watch for pressure. And oh, look at that. Perfectly played. It's an expensive kill. They do have to use the molly in order to get it, but it works out great. And you even have JKS and Nexa with the follow-up frags. Again, Denial keep trying to get aggressive to make up for losses. But it almost never pans out, especially in this map so far. Toy gets that kill, mainly because I don't think JKS was expecting to find anyone that far into the open down on this site. But they do indeed get the kill. And now Toy is on his own here. I'm going to see if he can get at least one more frag. Had a chance there to kill the offer. Didn't get it, and now re-peeking into that offer. He is a dead man. 6-0 for the Renegades. And another save round, too, for Denial here. It's going to turn out to be more like a half buy with the armor purchases, but utility's super weak. Toy doesn't even go for armor purchases either. He just gets himself a deagle. So let's see if Denial's going to change up. Oh, this is interesting. 3 or 4 man push towards ramp room. They do have to hold it up for a second, as they got mollied, as I'm sure you saw. But let's take a look and see if the follow-up's going to work at all. They've already given themselves away, though. That's the problem. So, yeah, they kind of had to call this one off. If they kept going into the lobby, Renegades probably would have been able to set up for it. Problem is, Renegades isn't even really here either. They've got like 4 players outside. So a lobby push wouldn't accomplish much in the current stack and lineup of players on the Renegades of the way that they've like set themselves up across the map. But looking across the map again here, Denial is really actively trying to deny control downstairs, but again, it seems misaligned. This is not really the aim of the Renegades right now. They kind of are just going around the map, causing havoc wherever they can. And it doesn't, in a lot of rounds, it doesn't necessarily seem like they have an immediate goal for a site take. Just seems like it works out okay for them after they pick up so many kills. They can just walk into one of the 2 bomb sites most of the time. So, much like the previous rounds, the final players are kind of out of position, not really immediately available to move in for a retake, or they just don't really have an option to even go for a retake. Toy specifically, way over in the secret hallway. His best bet is going to be maybe to pick up a couple headshots on exiting players, but that jump just killed him. As Ustilo picks up his head the second he's spotted. And they already saw Flowsick on this ladder just a few moments ago. So I imagine he's going to try to go up here and yet looking to escape with a kill, but there's a player in Mini that's causing him a lot of pain. He does get that kill, but Nexa, not only does Nexa trade it, but Nexa also stays alive despite being that close to the bomb explosion. So Nexa gets to continue to add up on his kill cutter too. He's second on, actually no, he's third on frags right now, but he has the lowest amount of deaths on his team. He's only died once so far, and he has 7 kills. So he's still sitting above, a 1 KPR. Or he should be anyway. I don't actually have the stats in front of me. I'm just doing it in my head. All right, nice shot from XP3. Clips his opponent, catches him jumping for a little bit of intel. Bad news is, still alive. Survives that with about 19 HP. I think that was Nifty. I believe so. Yeah, I think it was Nifty that got tagged by that. So he goes down to 19 HP. And again, first kills as well. Always going by the way with the Renegades here. JKS killing Rico. Toy is moved into the warehouse. Nifty looking for him. Can't spot through the smoke, and Toy did use that smoke to safely cross over to the other end of the warehouse now, so he has a better position. Nifty already low, too, if you forgot, that op shot that came in from XP3, so, ooh, Nifty was looking the other way. He didn't jump. He might have been able to actually get that kill. And Flowsick downstairs having some luck himself, but it's a short-lived occasion for Flowsick downstairs. Ustilo already been able to trade it back out, however, looks the wrong way, and XP3 pops back in to take down Ustilo. 2v3, still plenty of time to play with for the Renegades. However, they're moving very slowly towards hell. What is going to be the game plan here? Dapper even moving himself upstairs too. Here's the ladder, sees them moving up at the very last moment. And while there is a trade from Azur, he now has to pull off a 1v2 with only 12 HP in total. He's going to get himself the plant at the very least. Yeah, but he's going to be boxed out in a second as well. XP3 coming up from the backside. And Azur going to be looking to see if he can hold on to this one. Moving over towards the shed. He gets that 1 kill and safely escapes into the shed. Now he's got a chance at this one. XP3 should have been there for the refrag. I'm not sure why he wasn't able to catch that. XP3 jumping onto it. And now Azur is going to wait this one out, burning his opponent alive and finishing him off with the AK. It's a 1v2 clutch from Azur that he had absolutely no business winning. And that keeps the streak going for the Renegades. 8-0 now, with 3 players over $10,000 post-buy. This is getting rough for Denial here now. It was looking like they finally had a good round that they could actually shut down, and it's taken away from them right at the very end. Now, how are they going to make up for this one? Well, the Renegades don't really seem to care, as they're just going to play this nice and casually now. 8-0, they've got a huge lead. There's some Deagle shots connecting. Toy and Flowsick hitting them right at the start to bring this down to a 5v3. Now they're going to get aggressive. This is not what they need currently. Dapper just giving himself away inside the shed. That's Ustilo's first kill on the round and the first kill overall for the Renegades. The second one now found as Flowsick also gets aggressive through the smoke and ramp room, taking him out. 3v3 here now. XP3 also found in the open. Down he goes to Nexa, and also bye-bye goes the advantage that Denial just picked up at the start of this round. Only 2 CTs remain. Still a few good positions maintained, though, by Toy and Rico here. Specifically, Rico can almost for sure get a kill, but oh, had the flicker act, and now he gave himself away before they were ready for him. So he also goes down. No kills for him. It's all on Toy now to get a 4K and a 1v3. Ustillo is his first target, tags him, gets that kill. There's one, 2 more to go. Rifle's on the ground too, and he moves back in, but he's been tagged so heavily from peeking inside of the shed. Down at 18 HP now, and they can set up to completely block him off. There's really only one route he has back into that site, too, technically. But Toy realizes that this is nigh impossible. And even with that full losing bonus, money is not necessarily 100% secured here for Denial. So he is going to move out. The main goal to save, but he may also be able to pick off 1 or 2 players while exiting too. And that will help a small amount to control the economy. It's going to do very little in the grand scheme of things, considering the amount of money they have right now. But it was worth the attempt at least, although he won't get anyone. And he does successfully evade the 2 remaining Renegades players, though. So the main goal of actually saving that gun is still successful. And now, if needed, he can drop for a teammate here. Wasn't needed, though. They were able to get everything all right, regardless, since the losing bonus is stacked up so high at this point. They've got double ops and everything. Granted, like I said, long game, this is okay, because now he's got 6K, while every single person on his team bought out completely. So they still have that option available if he wants to help out and restore like a half buy or something like that going into a future round. And, well, this time Denial getting some quick work done. Renegades trying to push quickly towards Secret, as I'm sure you saw. However, the ops, both of them striking and knocking at Ustillo and JKS. But we just saw this in the last round, and the Renegades were still able to recover from it. But Denial didn't have full-on guns in that round. So that's going to make things a little bit harder this time. Nifty catching Dapper. Dapper, actually, I think dived into that. Did he go down? Yeah, he did. So Nifty, Nifty is given an opportunity to kill Dapper, and that's the first player again that, while his intentions are okay, actual follow-through just does not pan out the way that they would have hoped. And it causes Denial to lose another player. SP3, nicely found. Perfect timing on the peek against Nifty. Does finally take down another member of the Renegades here. Azur and Nexa remain. The team's still trying to push on into a flawless match, or at least a flawless half if they could get it. Those dreams are slowly slipping away. Denial's been getting closer and closer to winning out here. Toy popping open the door. He doesn't get the full kill on an exit, but he does stop the plant for a moment, and now all hell has been unleashed. Toy finally gets that frag. Azur forced back into the vents, and while he does get one more kill onto Rico, Toy finally shuts it out. And finally, Denial eSports will have a round on the board for themselves. 9-1 will become the scoreline. However, this is where things can get really bad, as those rebuys are still going to bring the money down quite a bit on Denial's side. And if the Renegades still win out this round, then they reset that losing bonus. Denial gets one more force, but then they're broken again for another round or two. And at that point, we're getting pretty much at the end of the half anyway. And now that the Renegades finally did lose a round... Oh, excuse me, guys. I apologize for that. I got some really bad FPS lag there. But anyway, Renegades moving back in to try and take quick control of the upper bomb site. Azur, with 2 kills right at the start, brings it down to a 2v2. XP3 and Flowsick now the last 2 players left alive. But they're also low. And having to lurk it back around. Oof, XP3 actually going to burn out Azur. So now it's just on Nifty. He's given time to go ahead and plant the bomb, but he is completely surrounded. And Flowsick will get the final kill there, allowing for Denial to close out on a second round. And prevent, more importantly, that immediate economy reset if Renegades were to be able to win that one there. So finally, some consistency as well, not just that one fluke round, but actually keeping it together for a second one, too. Let's see how far they can take this. Let's see if they can get up to something more respectable. Denial's going to be looking for at least 5 to 6 rounds. Probably call this a good half. Once again, the mollies go onto the ground here as the Renegades try to go for this push. Oh my goodness, I think it's this map and that FPS bug that keeps hitting people. I think it finally hit me. All right, nice shot from Nexa, grabbing Dapper as he drops down. They're now forced out of the site, though, so that is going to give the Renegades the room they need to go for a plant here. Nexa specifically... Oh, actually, I was about to say Nexa had an opportunity to get a kill on the guy in heaven, but actually Azur takes it up on top of the shed. Able to eliminate XP3, and now bringing this back down into a much more palatable 2v2. Flashbang's moving back in, and Toy has his opportunity to strike. Azure needs to be the one to get this kill on Toy. He has a much better angle, but no! Toy gets them both, and is able to hold on there as Denial strikes back with a third round now. They've got some consistency going, and in fact, one or two more. Well, unfortunately, it's going to take it right to the end of the round, but I was about to say, if there was a few more rounds of this half, they could actually take this to a point where they could actually break that T-set economy. But problem is that you're going to get at most one round of bad buys from the Renegades, as they still have enough for the next round after this one. And at worst, that would leave them with a poor buy on round 15, which they'd force buy on that anyway. So the Renegades are now trying to move in. Quick outside pressure for them. And it's a 1-to-1 trade overall. Rico does escape with one kill via the use of an HE grenade. But it's still just brought down to a 4v4. Rico is still trying to push himself back out too. He does escape into the open site. And Flowsick, along with a few more teammates, wrapping back in towards ramp here. They catch Ustillo, it takes him down, and he almost transfers on one of his own teammates there. You can see, I think Rico took a bullet or two, so he's now down at 54. Flowsick as well, catching Azert, trying to work his way from outside, and Rico still holding, still alive. Nicely done. Gets a massive 3K from inside of the site. And now it's a fourth round for Denial. They're on the warpath here to reclaiming a decent scoreline. And they've finally done it here. The Renegades, 9 rounds straight, and all of a sudden they've fallen flat, dropping these 4 rounds. And this is their last full buy. It's going to leave them with a pretty bad buy going into the final round of the half, should they drop this one here. XP3 first up to bat yet again, this time catching Nifty out, who has gone quite silent ever since we saw Denial picking up a few of these rounds. It's been a non-factor. Azure, however, has been one of the few shining stars in these couple of rounds, but it's going to be short-lived for him. Only being able to pick up that one kill against XP3 and then being traded out the second he drops down into Mini. More of these players trying to hunt out kills, but just no success being found from the Renegades here all of a sudden. Nexa sneaking in, though, catches Flowsick. So they have gotten ramp control, and they're going to use that to transfer themselves downstairs here over towards the B site. JKS, patience for him too, and it plays out well from outside of the squeaky way, leading up to the vents and the A-bomb site. Small little hole in the door, and he catches another kill, bringing this down to a 3v2. And Toy trying to sneak back in. Nexa kind of in the open here is the problem, whereas Toy has a lot more cover to work with. So Toy gets that kill, taking down Nexa. And now they kind of need JKS to somehow work his way down those vents and downstairs, as they only have Ustillo to actually defend from here. JKS still being a little bit cautious of the fact that, okay, there could still be another player upstairs looking for me. I gotta watch out for that. But eventually does have to dive back in. And finally, Ustillo has given himself up, gets the first kill. One more to go against Toy, and Toy tries to pre-fire into that before he even wraps the corner. But that only reveals his own intentions, so Ustillo is able to trace that one back out. And the Renegades, after 4 rounds straight for Denial, do go back into taking control here, as they push up on double digits going into the 15th round. Renegades yet again tossing a bunch of mollies and smokes outside, and it murders my FPS, so I do apologize for that. But Toy is going to be able to find one of those players through the smoke. That's Ustillo gone down. XP3 next up to bat here. He's got one on the up, looking for 2, but misses a shot, and that's going to leave Nexa with the trade. Taking down XP3 and putting the situation down to a 4v3. Everyone on the Renegades is over here in the ramp room, though. They don't have the diversity of positions that they've had in previous rounds here, so they're going to try to make up for that by being a little bit more sneaky. Dapper, though, got past JKS, so he's not expecting to find him on the right side of this doorway. That could throw him off, allowing for another free kill at the hands of Denial, and that's not what Renegades need right now. They had such a strong start. To end this 10-5 is going to be a bit of a misnomer, to be completely honest. And there you go. JKS continues his conquest forward towards the T lobby, and that is where Dapper got past him just moments beforehand. That's where that throws him off and allows for another kill to go up on the board, putting this into yet another 2v4 situation against the Renegades' favorite. Azure and Nexa now left over here inside of the vending room, trying to wrap back in and get control of their lobby. Succeeds, as Azure gets his own frag, but with 30 seconds left, they need to get onto his site. And the upper site is a complete unknown in its current state, whereas they at least have somewhat of a sense of what they could find downstairs. So that seems to be the site pick that they're going to go for here. Molly from Flowstick is a little bit late and really only gives away his position. Even worse is that Nexa just takes him out. Now they spot a second one in the vents, but Rico's able to hold for that one, so he picks up the kill. And now Nexa left battling around the smoke, gets one, but can't transfer it onto that second and final player alive for Denial. So it is going to be their own round. They'll go up to 5. As they recover from what was otherwise a terrible half from them. They make it quite okay at the end of the actual half itself, going 5-10. Considering that they were down 9-0 at one point, recovering up to that scoreline is actually not the worst thing in the world. Now, the important thing is going to be in the second half, make sure that they fix this and continue forward with a pistol round victory, and not drop the pistol and give the Renegades back that advantage, especially with them now on the CT side. I do again apologize for the FPS issues. I'm not entirely sure that's happening. That should not be happening. I've never had issues with that before. So that might be due to that bug that a couple other people are experiencing. So I'll have to look into how to fix that. For now, I'll probably just end up restarting the client once we finish with this match, so at least it doesn't show up for a couple more matches. It's really only happening on this map, though, and whenever people throw out a bunch of smokes and mollies, so it's really the only time it should be affecting you guys. And I imagine Denial is just taking a moment here to figure out how exactly they want to play this second half. Despite the fact that they came back alright to a 5-10 scoreline, this is still not the best. They need to start strong on T side or risk immediate elimination should they fall behind. So let's get into it here now. Second half getting started. Renegades now on the CT side and Denial on T. The map score is tied at 1-1, so the winner of this map goes on to the semifinals. The loser, well, they don't necessarily go home because they're already technically home, but they get eliminated from this event, and they won't get anything for it. Opening up here on this round, pretty standard setup of CTs. Wouldn't necessarily say that they're diverging from the usual setup here in JKS. I'm the most aggressive out of all the CTs right now, pushing all the way around Twinkie and trying to spot early on aggression. He moves in. Oh my god, nice lineup as well on XP3. Super long range tap. Granted, standing still and he's given plenty of time to line it up, but still, usually the players get unlucky with that one. And now Azure with another one. Nifty, he's going to be challenged. He might be the first one to go down, but he strikes a mid-air headshot against Dapper before he gets knocked out by Rico. And now Ustillo also holding back from behind the white box here too. Still fighting against Rico and Toy. As they're the last two for Denial here. Still trying to fight this one out. And oh, they shouldn't have gone back down. As Toy, he's able to hop his way to safety. Rico now has to try and save his teammate and himself. Nexa doesn't want anything to do with that, though. He ran away from that. And ran away from that fight. Toy tagged again. Now they're at 1. And Nexa just trying to figure out where the heck they're going to push in from. Rico does get that kill finally, but JKS trades it at range. So Toy has to 1v3 with 1 HP. If anything hits him, he is dead. But he's doing okay. He tags another player down to sub 10 HP. That's now JKS at 9. He's going to get a repeat from Ustillo in a second here, too. He also only has 15 seconds remaining to actually plant the bomb. That would be his best hope, but I think planting it here pretty much seals his doom, as there was 2 players stacked on either portion of the bomb site. And JKS does indeed close out without going down himself. That's the Renegades with the pistol under their control, 11-5. And we'll be able to start to move forward to try and reclaim some of that lead that they had. It was 9-0 for those that did join at the halftime or didn't get to witness that. pretty usual second round force coming in from Denial too, since they didn't get themselves the plant. Just Tech 9, PT50 buys with 4 players going up for armor behind it, XP3 saving up and just acting as utility support. And in they go, wasting no time. They're going to go for a direct execution out onto this A bomb site. Ustillo, he's ready for it though. Gets himself, oh, the FPS. Gets himself 2.5 kills as he gets 1 assist. And Nifty, also a piece of that puzzle, taking down Flowsick. Only Rico is left alive here. He doesn't get very far either. In fact, Nifty even kills Ustillo at the end with a bit of an accidental nade. Tosses that in, and down goes Ustillo. 12-5. Overall in the round, Renegades lose 3 players, it looks like. And now Denial. Well, they've got a big stack of players just waiting over here to try and overwhelm some of these CTs, but to say the least, it's not working. I think they've gotten 1 kill, and that's it. They'll just wait in the lobby for their doom. They know it's coming. They're ready for it. They're lined up to counter it. But when push comes to shove, it doesn't matter on that weak 3rd round bye. Denial don't get anything done, and the Renegades do set themselves up for success with a 13-5 scoreline. Just 1 round short of the best deficit they did have earlier on in this match. If they can win 2 more, then they'll once again increase that deficit up to 10. That being the best point that it was ever at. But this is the first gun round and the first opportunity for Denial to stop the Renegades, quickly racing up to 16 rounds and just stealing this set away from them. Dapper is going to be first up to bat this time, catching JKS from behind the red box, but Azur just chasing away Flowsick. Thought he could escape right there, but no, cuts him off in his prime, and Dapper finding another one here as well against Nifty. Things looking like the Renegades trading evenly, however, Denial with this outside control causing trouble, and Nexa, what are you doing out there? Nexa is completely out in the open. Same can be said for Ustillo too. He's going to find one, going down, just Azur left alive here now. But Azur's a real chance at this one. Oh, the nade probably not tossing the way he would have liked. If that nade went towards heaven, though, that was actually a pretty big miss, because if that went towards heaven and properly bounced, then Daps would have been dead. Or, I keep saying Daps. Dapper, excuse me, would have been dead. At 12 HP, there's no way he was going to survive it. Even close to direct nade shot. So the real target here for Azur is still going to be XP3. Dapper's a one-and-done shot. But he could still be problematic for him if he kills XP3 first. Both the T's and, ooh, missed that jump, so they know exactly where he is now, and there you go. Dapper lines up the final hit. Even though he is low, he's still able to hit the headshot and secure the round for Denial, as they do win out the first gun round, taking it 13-6. But their troubles are not done just yet. The Renegades still have enough cash, so they're going to buy in once again on this 5th round, as they saved up enough for it. It is going to empty out their coffers, but it'll be enough for now. Fast wrap outside here for Denial, just smoking up the approach to Secret and going directly down the steps here. Flowsick trying to surprise, well, trying to get that molly inside there. Unfortunately, he gets a surprise. As one player jumps in his face, he's able to fend off that kill, but then JKS trades it back just a second later. Now the rest of Denial getting ready to quickly flood themselves downstairs into the site. As right now it's an even 4v4, but Nexa having a position behind the box over here. He's got to be careful as there's more trying to sneak up on him, and he strikes way too late. Dapper already taking him down. XP3 finding Ustillo. JKS is going to try to challenge us. He finds success, but now it's built up to a 2v3, and Toy is in position to counter him out. So down will go JKS, leaving only Nifty alive in this clutch. He's been spotted. Quick little corner shot there. 2 more to go, and he can win this one out. Missing that shot, though, and he does not have the capability to go and actually re-entry this again, so he's going to give up, choosing to save the op for a round where the rest of his teammates really aren't going to have anything built up at all. They'll let Denial get a 7th, and once again work to reclaim their position in this game. And so, yeah, as I was saying before, the Renegades aren't really going to be allowed to buy anything else. JKS can probably get himself just a 5-7 with not much else supporting it, but in all reality, for most of these guys, they really can't afford to buy anything at all. as they need that right around the 2K mark to be able to buy in the next round. And even then, it's going to be a little bit dodgy. So Nifty's got the only real gunpowder here to play with in this round. So we'll keep an eye on him at the start, especially... Actually, no, we're going to shift perspectives here. As Anal is just going right for the entry in A, and they have absolutely no problems with it. Again, Nifty, he's going to save here. He got one kill that he snuck off. He's going to see if he can hit another through Mini. But ultimately, this round is done and dusted. Denial are going to be taking this one as they do pretty much walk right over. And Flowsick at the end there does drop Nifty. Going back up on top towards Twinkie. So bringing him down. Does not allow that op to be saved, and it can't get rebought either, so there's not going to be an op for the CTs going into this next gun round. The lag is on my end, unfortunately. It seems like I'm having some FPS issues on this map, which is very weird because I've never had that problem before. So the lag is not your issue for those people that are experiencing that. That is my own problem here. I'm having some FPS problems on this map. So I'm going to look into that once this one is done. Denial once again getting ready to move over here quickly to take outside control. Not going directly into Secret or Mini, though. They are actually playing around with the outskirts a little bit, so may try to go in and take some heaven control if they can. Flowsick, though, didn't have the best initial start. He was one of the few players that stayed separate from this main pushing group and actually tried to go over towards the shed at first, but was found out there pretty quickly and got brought down to 15 HP. Now Rico trying to work his way over here. Catches Nexa, eliminating him. Hazard still hunting too. He's found it. That's Flowsick gone down. He knew someone was up here somewhere. And JKS spring wildly into that smoke trying to find the planter. He can't get it though. Leaves himself with one bullet left in the magazine. That's a bit unfortunate, as that would have been a great opportunity for the Renegades to try and steal away a bit of an advantage. Now they have to go funneling down the vents, and I'll hope that they're not immediately spotted and countered back out here. Rico, even with a great pop flash as well, and now the re-peek into it. He gets one. The Opper's peeked into it for another. Oh, those nades, though. For that one singular nade, just knocked off so much HP, but it doesn't matter. Denial are still able to hold. They're still able to battle it back, and now they push up on to 9 rounds, just 4 behind the Renegades. From 9-0 to now 13-9, the Renegades have slowed their momentum to a huge margin. Now have to pray that they can get themselves something to at least get up to 15 rounds and guarantee overtime here, as Denial is very, very quickly closing the gap on them. Just a few more rounds away, and one right here is going to be an eco, and I can imagine there'd be at least one more in this process of 4 rounds. So in all reality, just 1 or 2 gun rounds. Denial being able to potentially tie this one back up. And on the opener, well, the Renegades are playing very much to the upper bomb site. Immediately, though, Rico moving back in, catching 1 and a second. He's dinked down to 1 HP in that one, though, so he does have to stay back a bit. But after getting those kills, that does send most of the focus for the Renegades up towards heaven. So it's a nice clean sweep as the others can actually move in to execute and close out that round, getting them up to double digits here. And calling a pause on the Renegades side, I can only assume. A very much needed pause, considering the way that this has gone now. So it is going to be another completely full buy for the Renegades, but it hasn't said much so far in this half. They've only won the first 3 rounds. After the first, well, I should say including the first gun round, they haven't won a single round yet. After they won the first 3. The pistol was really the only thing that kept them in the lead. If they lost the pistol, then Denial would have already taken the lead from them and be well ahead. So this is a little bit rough from the Renegades to have that much of a start. Probably getting to like relax as well and have a little bit of fun, as we were starting to see towards the middle portion of that half when they had such a big lead. But the issue is now they have to kind of bring it back down and adjust their attitudes quite a bit. as the game's dynamic has shifted quite a bit here. And it's no longer just an easy walkover map for the Renegades, as it was seeming like it was going to become with the way that things were going at the beginning of the first half. So what's going to be the plan here for the Renegades? Still a fairly normal stack here on most of their own players. Nifty, I think, is going to get a little bit more aggressive outside, though. In fact, there you go. Just spots the head of XP3, taking him down. First kill this time going into the control of the Renegades. Toy also trying to make up for this one. Gets one kill, but then the trade moves in a few seconds later from AZR, bringing it down to a 4v3. The Renegades looking okay to hold for right now. And Denial seem a little bit frozen here. 2 out of 3 of their players still stuck in lobby. They're going to bust open the door. A little bit of team damage being done there. They've got mollies to try and deny a lot of this one if they attempt to go downstairs. They're still going to go for it, though. Rico getting 1 kill on the way down. That re-evens it back into a 3v3. But the bomb is still in lobby way. So Rico at the moment, all he's doing is trying to deploy a fake. And while is it working? It seems to be, at least to a partial degree. The problem is without it being planted, you're really not going to send everyone downstairs. Nifty's here, spots Rico, and is able to take him down. But Flowsick at the same time also caught Ustillo on the other side of the bomb site. So it's still being kept even in a 2v2, and now it's being planted on upper. They can't necessarily prevent that. They got to let Flowsick get away with it, but Nifty again clipping off these kills. And Nexa dropping down to get the final one. There is going to be another round for the Renegades. They'll push up to 14, just 2 away from series victory. Even with that win, you can see the Renegades still a little bit low on cash currently. They got the pretty much full buy. AZR did have to go down to a UMP. Whereas Denial are still completely and fully bought as of this time. But with us getting this close to the end, the money starts to become a bit more of a non-factor here, as teams will be forcing in these rounds regardless, as they try to push it to the very edge. Renegades may still have a few saves to work with, but they'll lose that liberty very quickly if they're not careful. And Denial slowing down immensely compared to what we were seeing in some of these earlier rounds where they really had an advantage. They are completely frozen at this. They're holding positions in lobby and outside. They're finally going to move forward now. They have utility deployed, but look at that from Azur. Beautifully done. Gets 2. Looked like both of them were headshots, but apparently only one of the kills is a complete headshot. But back-to-back frags against Dapper and one more. Nexa now finds a third. XP3 gets taken down in his attempt to early push over here towards the ramp to make up for those losses. Denial really wanted to get quickly down the vents and then later down the ramp in towards the B bomb site, but it just could not happen. And now they're continuing to stick to that plan, causing more and more losses to be occurred. And speaking of which, there's another one right there. Azur, despite the fact that he was well known that he was sitting inside of those vents, still picks up a kill. And now it just leaves Flowsick alive in a 1v5. And where exactly is he playing from? Up in heaven. Oh, a little bit sneaky there, having a little bit of fun with Nifty. Unfortunately, he pulled out the smoke without realizing that Ustillo was still inside of the shed and getting ready to push his way back out, so that'll be his ultimate death. And the Renegades now up on map and match point here. Winning this one, they'll take it 2-1. Looks like Denial, after things playing it slowly didn't work out, they're going to go back to the fast strat. Right outside, into Secret again. So back to their old tricks. And this never necessarily stopped working. It's just that Renegades, again, started picking up a few of these rounds in the clutch scenarios. The initial execution was still doing an okay job. They just need to make sure that they follow through onto a site without too many losses. And they're doing that now. They've got the bomb all the way past the Secret tunnel. But the CTs already have players down here themselves, which includes a ramp pressure, one in decon, and in fact, Azur's been spotted, so there you go. Toy is going to get that kill. Looking for more in the vents, but he is traded up by Ustillo, and now Ustillo, he's going to go into the open on the site here, trying to prevent from more of them, specifically trying to prevent the plant, but made himself too obvious. So Rico takes him down And Flosick finds another kill in ramp here. Renegades' advantage quickly falling apart as they're now down 2v4. And now 1v4. And now 0v4 as XP3 lines up those last 2 kills and it's just shooting fish in a barrel. Match paused again for the Renegades here. 15-11. 4 more rounds to go until OT. And Renegades basically probably deciding here, do we force this or do we save it, considering that Nifty's down at 1850. Forcing is not going to look too great for him, but some of the others are okay. Azur's still sitting at 5200. So he can very easily force into this one. The same could be said for JKS and kind of Nexa. Flosick is Floki. His name is Flosick. I don't know if he's completely changed his name or not. He's just been going by that recently in-game. As far as I know, he hasn't actually changed his actual alias. Still a 4-round advantage to the Renegades. This isn't an end-of-the-world situation yet. They do need to figure this out soon. But I'd be very surprised if the Renegades forced here. And it is looking like they're going to take a much more preserved buy. Azur is getting utility. A couple PT50 buys. You can see that one there on Nexa. And for the other 3, well, JKS can certainly buy something, but Nifty and Ustilla are probably going to have to save completely, or Ustilla will just buy like a P250 or something. Despite the fact that they are on a full save, the Renegades are looking to do a little bit of damage here. Denial, though, has 0 chill at this situation. They just go directly into that site and are wasting 0 time to take control of it and get that bomb onto the ground here, too. Ustilla getting ready to swing in, but just gets completely denied by Toy. Nicely found, man. And now only 3 remain here for the Renegades, all very spread out and with not an inkling to be able to get themselves into that site. Just a P250 sitting on Nexa and Armor, and that's the best buy they have. The other 2 are on USPs alone, hoping that players get over-eager and they can punish that. And it almost works in the case of JKS. Dapper gets brought down to 5 HP after he takes his battle. He's surrounded by his teammates, though, so he's in a relatively safe position to exit this site. And Nifty also gets taken care of without too much trouble. So another walkover round for Denial, and they're going to be at 12-15 here, restoring their money a little bit as well. Nexa survives, so he's going to save himself about 650 bucks going into this next round here by not having to invest in the armor. And we shouldn't really see an upgrade to head armor since everybody's on AKs right now in the op. So obviously headshots are going to kill anyway. But saving that actually does look like it gave him a little bit of a couple extra bonuses. He has the only kit, and he's the only one fully kitted out with utility too. Everybody else only has 2 or 3 nades. That does give him a little bit of a boon to work off of, being able to save that compared to the rest of his teammates. Denial, though, continuing to close the gap, and now, well, once again, going back to the outside play. Nifty's back on the op, though, so that may not necessarily be the smartest decision. He is ready to challenge us, and it's not just him either. JKS is going to be here in the secret steps, taking on anyone that'll try to push towards it, and they're not even watching it, which is a huge mistake considering how often they've been pushing these secret steps. JKS just gets himself a free kill on Dapper, and then the smoke covers off the retreat. So no one's going to be able to immediately follow that without taking a huge risk on just getting trapped in the smoke. Azur finding another kill elsewhere on the map too. It's down to just 2 players left alive here now for Denial. Toy and XP3 have to clutch this out 2v5 if they want to keep themselves in the game. And JKS continues to delay as finally Toy goes down, and that'll clear outside completely. Only XP3 is left up and running. He wants this trade, I think, onto Nifty or JKS, either one if he can get it. But even that is going to be a hard-fought battle, and there you go. Nifty peeking out will shut it down, and it's going to be the Renegades that take control of map number 3 here And they will also take this series 2-1, moving them into the semifinals. We are going to stick with the Renegades as we continue forward in this tournament. Let's see if the other match ended yet. 1 second. Doesn't look like it's actually over just yet. So the Liquid and Mousesports matches have completed. Liquid, not really a big surprise there. They did win 2-0. Mousesports lost to Otter eSports 0-2. So Liquid and Otter eSports are going to be playing on an alternate stream. However, here on this stream, we're going to be covering the Renegades versus either X-Pain or CLG Academy. As soon as their match concludes, we'll be following that one, guys. So do stick with us, and after we do wait for that one, as soon as this next match is set up, we'll be coming back to you with our semifinal here from the DreamHack Malmö North American Closed Qualifiers. Stick with us.